Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really digging into the incredible legacy of Gerald Levert. What a voice.
Truly unforgettable.
Yeah, a voice that really moved generations. We're drawing from a piece called Gerald Levert, The Voice That Made Us Feel, which originally came from M.W. Will Stopp's Black Legends. Now, just a quick heads up, the information we're using today, it comes from the internet, so its accuracy isn't guaranteed.
Right. Always good to keep that in mind with online sources.
Exactly. But our mission here is basically to give you a shortcut, to understand Gerald Levert's huge impact. We'll pull out the key insights, maybe some surprising facts from this material.
So you get the essence without getting totally bogged down.
Precisely. You'll feel well informed. Okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here is Gerald Levert's story. It isn't just about hit songs one after another.
Right.
It's really about how an artist channels everything, personal stuff, family history, this incredible natural gift into, storytelling through music. He was much more than just a singer.
Absolutely. And to really get that, we kind of start right at the beginning. Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland roots.
Gerald Edward Levert, born July 13th, 1966. And he was born into a world already, buzzing with soul music.
You can say that again. His father, Eddie Levert.
Yeah, Eddie Levert was already making history, right? With the OJs. I mean, think about those hits. Love Train, Backstabbers, Family Reunion, even For the Love of Money. Icons.
Huge. Defining the sound of the 70s, really.
So growing up in Cleveland, Gerald often meant his dad was away, touring,
Life on the road.
and his mother, Martha, she was the one holding down the fort at home.
And this really makes you wonder, how much that early exposure shapes an artist's sound, their unique voice.
Definitely.
Even as a little kid, like a toddler, there were signs. Family remembers him grabbing a hairbrush, like a microphone.
Ah, classic.
Yeah, and just belting out notes with this raw expressiveness way beyond his years. It wasn't just copying his dad.
He was finding his own thing already.
Exactly, finding his voice. And then by age 12, he wasn't just singing, he was writing his own songs.
12.
Yeah, you could hear the influences. Sure, Teddy Pendergrass, Marvin Gaye, those smooth ballads, and the OJs, of course.
Naturally.
But even then, there was something distinct, this aching vulnerability, the source calls it, often in this early falsetto, and a kind of youthful urgency. It just set him apart right from the start.
And he certainly found that voice, no question. In 1983, he takes this big step. Teams up with his younger brother, Sean.
And their childhood friend, Mark Gordon.
Right, Mark Gordon.
Yeah.
And they form the group Levert. And their goal was pretty clear, wasn't it? They wanted to, honor that old school soul, but give it that 80s R&B energy.
That blend, yeah. Very much of its time, but rooted in history.
And Gerald, he's just 17. But he's not just in the group. He's the lead singer and the main songwriter.
Incredible pressure, but also incredible talent at that age.
For sure. Their first album, I Get Hot, that dropped in 1985, gave everyone the first taste.
And what's really striking is how fast they made an impact. I mean, I Get Hot was solid. It got them noticed.
Yeah, good start.
But it was the 1987 album, The Big Throwdown, that just exploded things.
Ah, okay, that was the one.
That was the one. The single, Casanova, wow, it was a huge crossover hit. Number 5 on the main Billboard Hot 100. Number 1 on the R&B charts.
Huge. So that really cemented his status then, separate from his dad.
Absolutely. It proved he was a hit maker in his own right, no longer just Eddie Levert's son,
Yeah.
Suddenly Levert was everywhere.
Wow.
They were right up there with the other big R&B names of that time, like New Edition or Guy.
Right, I remember that era.
Yeah, and their sound, that mix of the classic soul harmonies with those slick 80s synth lines, it felt familiar but also really fresh.
Here's where it gets really interesting. That immediate impact, it just speaks volumes about his raw talent, doesn't it?
Totally. It wasn't just potential, it was realized talent right then.
So fast forward a bit to 1991. Gerald obviously feels ready for, even more space. He launches his solo career.
The next big step.
With a debut album, Private Line. And this one, it really felt like a statement, a declaration of independence almost.
You could really hear him on that record.
It showcased his full range, those like guttural growls he could do, and then that signature soaring falsetto.
Right across the board, the romantic ballads, the soulful mid-tempo stuff.
And the title track, Private Line, obviously huge, #1 R&B.
Yep.
But it's also significant, I think, that the album had Baby Hold On to Me, that duet with his father, Eddie.
Ah, yeah. Beautiful track.
It showed that even as he was, branching out solo, family and music were still completely intertwined.
Yeah, that connection was always there. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the way R&B was evolving, Gerald's solo move really tapped into that growing trend of artists wanting more creative control, more independence.
Makes sense.
And critics, they picked up on that. They praised how he could seamlessly blend those old school soul feelings with modern production.
But it was more than just technical skill, wasn't it? For the fans.
Oh, absolutely. It was that deep emotional honesty in his voice. That's what grabbed people. When he sang about love or heartbreak, it wasn't just, hitting the notes.
It felt real.
It felt like he was living it, like he was bearing his soul with every single note. And that authenticity, it just built this incredibly strong, almost personal connection with his listeners.
And he didn't stop there, did he? His ambition kept pushing. In 1997, LSG.
Ah, the supergroup.
Yeah. He joins forces with two other R&B giants, Keith Sweat and Johnny Gill.
3 massive, very distinct voices coming together. That was exciting.
It really was. And their debut album, LeVert, Sweat, Gill, huge success. Went double platinum.
And that single, My Body, you couldn't escape that song.
Nope. Dominated the radio, the clubs, everything.
What's really striking about Gerald, though, even at this peak, part of this massive supergroup, was his humility.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the source mentions he was always crediting his collaborators, crediting the fans, always kind of deflecting the spotlight. Class act.
Really seemed to be. But, as often happens when people give so much publicly behind the scenes, things weren't always quite as smooth.
Yeah, that's a crucial point to bring up. While his music brought so much joy, so much comfort, Gerald, it seems, poured his heart into it, partly because his own heart often carried a lot of pain.
That contrast again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He dealt with relationship struggles, he battled with his weight, and just the, immense pressures of fame.
It takes a toll.
It does. But despite all that, he never seemed to let it stop him. His dedication was unwavering. He kept recording, kept performing.
Kept giving the fans everything he had.
Exactly.
Everything.
And what's fascinating here is, or perhaps deeply moving, is that duality, the soaring public success versus those really intense private struggles.
Yeah.
It's a pattern you see with so many artists who create such a relatable, universal art. Yeah. But tragically, on November 10th, 2006, Gerald Levert passed away in his sleep.
Oh, man. So young.
So young, only 40 years old. It was determined to be from a combination of prescribed medications.
Just devastating. The shockwaves must have been immense.
Oh, absolutely. Through the whole music world, tributes just poured in from legends, his peers, and just countless heartbroken fans.
I can only imagine.
And his father, Eddie, completely devastated. He shared this really poignant quote saying, he wasn't just my son, he was my best friend.
Oh, wow. That hits hard.
Yeah.
But even after his passing, his music, his gift, it just kept resonating, didn't it?
It really did. His posthumous album, In My Songs, which came out in 2007, it debuted at #1 on the R&B charts, and it earned him a Grammy Award.
A Grammy, wow. A final, powerful gift, really.
It truly felt like that, echoing his enduring impact.
So what does this all mean when we look back at his legacy?
I think it means that Gerald Levert's voice, it just unequivocally lives on. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
To this day, his music still inspires new artists, new fans, whether you're putting on one of those timeless slow jams late at night or one of his more upbeat anthems about love. That unique ability he had to convey such deep emotion through that powerful voice and amazing falsetto, it just ensures his place in music history is, vibrant, timeless.
It was an incredible journey, seriously. From, being Cleveland's son, Eddie Levert's son, to forging his own path with Levert and that powerful solo career, the LSG supergroup success, and then tragically ending with a posthumous Grammy.
Quite a life, quite a career.
Gerald Levert's voice was truly a gift. As the source title says, it made us feel.
Absolutely. And this raises an important question, maybe for you, the listener, to think about after this deep dive.
Okay.
How do artists like Gerald Levert manage to channel their own personal struggles, their deepest vulnerabilities, into art that becomes so universal? Art that keeps resonating, keeps inspiring people long after they're gone.
That's a deep one.
And maybe also, what specific parts of his sound, that vocal delivery, or the way he wrote about emotions, what parts do you hear echoed in R&B music today? Something to consider.
Definitely something to think about. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the really soulful legacy of Gerald Levert.
Thank you.
We hope you feel well-informed and maybe just a little more connected to that incredible voice that made us all feel.